Hey y'all, Countryman here. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to tell you to do as I say, not as I do. My mom used to make jelly without water bathing, without pressure canning. And what she used was the Gulf wax in a double boiler. You can see that it is melting. Over here I've got 5 cups of strawberries, and I'm going to put about 7 cups of sugar in there, and I've got 1 thing of pectin. Now I'm going to bring that up to a boil here real slowly and let it boil for 1 minute. I've got my jars over here. I'm going to put it in the jars. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch of head space. And here's where everything goes to pot, and the EPA and the Cooperative Extension Agency and everybody on YouTube is going to yell at me. I'm going to wipe off my jars, lids or the rims, and then I'm going to pour this hot wax over the top of it, and it will seal the top of the jars. And it'll be hot strawberries, hot wax, and then I've got my lids behind there, and it will cool down and seal anyway. But I'm not going to water bath it. The seal that the paraffin wax makes will preserve the strawberry jam. When I get a little further along and start putting it in the jars, I'll get back to you. Do as I say, or not as I do. Alright, she's at a boil. We're going to let this boil for 1 minute. Then we're going to turn it off without boiling it over. She will boil over with foam. I've got a stove to clean. This has been boiling for about 1 minute now. So we're going to come over here and put it in our jars. And I'll get back to you when I start filling them. Okay, y'all. I got my strawberry jam in my jars. This is where I'm going to go away from the norm. I've got my wax here. It looks just like water because I've had it on simmer. And hopefully I can do this while you guys can see it. That wax is going to go right on top of there, almost to the top. If this works, we will be good. If not, I've been wanting, I was talking to Paula Allen about doing this, and she never heard of it. Matter of fact, I don't know anybody that's ever heard of it. My mom was born in 1911, I do believe. She lived through the Great Depression. I don't know if they really had lids back then because of the war that was going on and everything else. But I'm sealing the jam in these jars with nothing but Gulf wax. And it seals them right over the top. And the rest of it, I'm just going to leave in this tin pan here and use it next time. So I'm going to give this about 30 minutes and show you how it sets up, or whenever it cools. And I'll get back to you. Countryman out for now. Hey y'all, Countryman here. I got my wax on top, and you can see it turns white. There's the paper that, you know, how white the paper is from the Sure Gel. but you can see on top it all turns white. And it actually seals the jelly in the jars. I want to show you that. You can see that it's sealed. It looks pretty good. The jelly turned out real good, I do believe. You can see from my thumb up it's wax. A good 1/4 inch. And that seals all the air. There's no mold or mildew or anything that's going to get in these jars. It's sealed. Now, they don't recommend you doing this anymore. But my mom did it for the 18 years that I was growing up. We had eight plum trees in our backyard. And my dad dipped rooster snuff. She would wash the jars out and it had a tin lid on top. And she would put the plum jelly in there, pour the paraffin wax on top, and then just set the tin lid back on top of it. It didn't screw on, it didn't snap, it was just sitting there. And with the wax on top of the plum jelly, which this is jam, strawberry jam, my favorite, it'll seal. I am going to take now the jars, lids, and just put them on there. I'm not going to water bath it. I'm not going to do anything because they are sealed. In a sense, they're already vacuum sealed. And I'm going to set the jar lids on there. And then I'm going to tighten my lids down. Can't do it with the camera in one hand. But I'm going to tighten these down good and tight, finger tight plus a little bit. And I'm going to call it good. But that's the way you do the Gulf wax, paraffin wax on top of your jelly. It is not recommended that you do that this way. This is old school. If we didn't have a water bather or anything, and didn't have the way to heat everything up the way we do now, this is a way that we can do it. And the recipe I used was 2 quarts of berries, and I put about 6.5 cups of sugar and 1 thing of sure gel pectin, and I brought that up to a boil real slow, and I boiled it for 1 minute, and then I took it off and I put it in my jars. I hope this helps. Just give you some food for thought to think about. And God bless for now. Countryman out.